Well, hopefully you can see that. It's time to do another spill and fill on my daily driver, 2013 Prius. I don't know if I can get up here. Hopefully I can. So I've got a 10 millimeter and I got to get it up into that little cubby right there and get on that fill plug first. Always, always, always loosen the fill plug first. And let's see if I can. Oh, this thing is on there. Well, I did the last service, so I think I may have to get a longer bar. Let's get a longer bar. One moment. All right, well, I got my 1/2-inch torque wrench here. I have a breaker bar, but it's about 1.5 miles long. So I'm not quite sure I want to try to use that one. Come on, baby. There we go. Got it busted loose. Okay, so fill plug has been loosened. And there might be a couple drops that come out. I've got my drain pan situated underneath. And just a tiny bit's coming out. Now, I don't think these plugs have any magnets on them. Actually, the fluid color is pretty doggone good. It's still pretty red. Well, let's go ahead and bust the drain plug out now. And hopefully you can see it. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. Ah, there we go. It is loose. I'm actually quite impressed with the color of this fluid. It should be much brighter red than it is. And I'm just going to lift this up here because it's going to make a little bit of a mess. And once again, there's a place for a magnet, but there is no magnet. So share your thoughts. Should I install a magnet into one of these plugs? I think I have a little neodymium magnet that might fit perfectly in that little recess. But I'm just going to let this thing drain. Like I said, I'm pretty happy with the color of the fluid as it's draining. And I know I'm going to get comments that, yeah, it is sitting up on ramps. And so the angle, you're not going to be able to fill it all the way. You know, I think it's going to be just fine. I don't think this has a pump in it anywhere. I know down here, that little access panel right there is actually coolant, because you can see the coolant lines as they connect right there for cooling. There's access for the torque converter, or I don't think this even has a torque converter. It's claimed to be a CVT transmission, but anyhow, pretty happy with the fluid color. This fluid has just under 30,000 miles on it since the last spill and fill. I am a little hesitant just to put a magnet in there and have it attached to something that it shouldn't attach to. So once again, share your thoughts. If anybody knows of a replacement magnetic drain plug for one of these transmissions, I'm going to go ahead and reuse the crush washers. As you can see, a little bit of dirt, but I'll wipe them off really good, and they are in perfect condition. As you can see, before I loosened the fill and the drain plug, there was no seepage, no migration of fluid whatsoever. So I'm going to let this drain, and then I got to snake a hose down from the top up there with a funnel into the fill plug after I've replaced the drain plug. But I'll let this drain for 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll come back, add a hose, and get some fluid back into this thing. As you can tell, let's go ahead and zoom out just a little bit. I'm doing this all on my cell phone because it's underneath here where you can actually see it. As you can tell, I've already got the belly pan off, which is laying right there. That's from splashing just a moment ago, but the belly pan is held in place with these little, now there you can see one right there, these little push clips. And I believe that there are 4 10 millimeters across the front of the vehicle and 2 10 millimeters slightly back from that. But like I said, we'll let this thing drain for a few minutes and then put the drain plug back in it and then fill it with fluid. I believe it's 3.6 or 3.7 quarts. Anyhow, I fill it until it begins to come out of the drain. Yeah, it's at a slight angle, probably maybe 2 or 3 degrees. I'm not worried about it in the least. Well, I got it down to a super slow drip, so I'm going to go ahead and reinstall the drain plug. I did wipe it off, and it looks like the seating surface on the crush washer is in perfect condition. Like I said, I'm going to reuse it. I think it'll be just fine. Hopefully I don't knock the phone over. This is, oh, it's right in the way. Perfect. Yeah, good job. I don't think I can reach from that angle. Well, let's go ahead and just go to, no, that's a 1/4 inch. That ain't gonna work. All right, here's a nice little flexi ratchet. Going the wrong way, duh. Lefty tighty, righty loosey? No, that's not how it goes. All right, let's, right in the way, obviously. I do not know what the torque spec is on this, but I'm going to get my 1/2 inch torque wrench, and I think I'll give it about 20 foot-pounds, which seems like a good number. It is into aluminum, but it does have a fair amount of thread to grab with. One moment. Okay, I do have my torque wrench set to 20 foot-pounds. I may have already achieved that number. All right. Click. Okay, there's 20 foot-pounds. I'm not sure what the torque spec is. If you think 20 is too low, let me know. I guess I could try to use the Googling machine and find out. So I am cleaning the fill drain plug, or fill plug as it may be. Duh, oxymoron. It's not a drain and a fill plug at the same time. Yeah, just like I said, leave your thoughts on whether I should look at putting a magnet in there. So I do have a piece of, I think it's 1/2 inch vinyl tubing down from the top, and hopefully it's long enough that I can just put it in the fill like that. And I've got a funnel up there. Hopefully it won't fly out. It'd be nice if there was a place I could zip tie it right here, but let's see what's going to happen up top. One moment. All right, so I did go ahead and zip tie the fill tube up to one of the brackets where the manifold and the catalytic converter meet. And then there's the fill tube going into the fill hole. It is angled down slightly, so that's good. And I did put about 1 inch inside the actual transmission. Now let's go ahead and run up top. So there's my funnel, and it's going to be hard to see, but I made a, out of 1/2 inch heater hose, I made a little coupling that the funnel actually pushes into and expands the heater hose. And then I just hose clamped the vinyl tubing into it. Once again, kind of hard to see, but there you go. So it's up at an angle. You can kind of see the, well, I guess you can't. It's washing out the camera, but I did bring the vinyl tubing up into the funnel by about 1 inch. And then hopefully we will be good. So I've got four quarts right there of Toyota WS fluid. This should be original Toyota fluid, Toyota ATF WS automatic transmission fluid. That is what this vehicle calls for. And like I said, I think it uses about 3.6 quarts, if I'm not mistaken. And I do have a couple of like 0.4 quarts laying around here somewhere. So let's go ahead and dump 3 quarts into it and take a look at the fill plug and see if anything's running out. See if I can find a spot that will support the camera. One moment. All right, here we go. First quart going in. And oh, look at how bright and red that is. Hopefully there's no spills down there. Like I said, I zip tied it up there, so we should be good. I'm just going to go ahead and fill this thing up most of the way. It's going to be a slow filling process just because it's got to go through that little 1/2-inch vinyl tube that has a inside diameter of about 1/4 inch. So I'll probably speed this up. One moment. Okay, so that's 3 quarts in right now, and I'm watching the drain pan until it starts dripping. And so I'm just going to put about half of this one in real quick. There's probably 1/4 of it. It's just starting to drip out just the least little bit. So let me get you repositioned and we'll get that fill plug back in. All right, so I think we're going to be good. So this is going to make a mess when I pull it out, obviously. And I'm just going to let it kind of dangle there, make a mess, and try to get the fill plug to start threading, which I already did clean. All right, fill plug is secured, but not tightened. All right, let's go ahead and get it tightened up. All right, click, there it is. Now let's go ahead and clean this stuff up. And I guess we'll take it for a quick little road test as it's dripping on my hands. I got to go cut that zip tie and then wipe everything down here. All right, so the funnel's been removed. I did leak just a little bit on that low side AC line. Just a tiny little bit seeped out there. I think it's going to be okay. It's not actually the line itself. It's just a piece of foam insulation to keep the heat off of it. Well, let's go ahead and run back down underneath quickly. There's no quickly. And I just want to take a quick look at the fill plug. It looks good. I wiped it off. I'm sorry. There's the fill plug. That's the drain plug. There's just a little bit of residual down here that I'll re-wipe off. All right, just got to put the belly pan back on it, and I think we'll be done. I already did a spill and fill on the oil with the oil and the filter right here, which you've seen before. I didn't feel the need to video it one more time. All right, all done up on top. And I do have the belly pan reinstalled down on the bottom. All the screws and clips and whatnot are holding this thing back together. And I still have to wipe off that little spill right there. But other than that, I think we're done. 2013 Prius. This thing's got about 128,000, I think, 129 on it right now. I waited way too long on the first transmission service, 75,000. And you guys in the comments scolded me for that. And I definitely want to apologize for that. So the first one was 75, the second one was 100,000. And then I'm going to be doing them every 30,000 from now on. So we're just under 30, so we'll hit it again at 160. All right, everyone, thank you for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Everyone have a great day. Bye-bye.